Alright, so you've probably heard about the analogy by now that Amazon is basically Apple and Shopify is becoming more of a BlackBerry. Why do I say this? Well, 2 weeks ago they announced that they are starting to offer Buy with Prime. What does that mean? Basically, they're expanding their reach outside of their own Amazon ecosystem, which was basically just on their website. You can buy with Prime, Amazon Pay, etc. But now they're starting to offer that outside of their own platform. So we're going to have a look at that in a bit. You've probably heard about that as well. And as for Shopify, it's been hit left and right. Year to date, it's down 75%. But if you look at Amazon, year to date, it's down 35%. But if you look even further down the line, back in September 2018 until today, Amazon is up only 10%. If you look at Shopify, they're up more than 100%. What do I mean with all of those useless numbers, you might say? Well, first of all, Shopify is still a tremendous company with great management. Yes, maybe on Twitter, Toby has done some questionable things lately, changing his profile picture to an NFT, tweeting out stuff about, well, traders and whatnot. Maybe those are red flags. But overall, if you look at the grand things, if you look at the big picture, don't know if grand things even makes any sense. Anyways, if you look at the big picture, if you're investing in Shopify for a long time, you're still up quite significantly. And if you're just like me and you're holding Amazon for a couple of years now, you're not up by that much. Now, this video is going to talk about why I do believe that investing in Amazon today makes a little bit more sense than Shopify, and I'll show you why. Now, with regards to Shopify, they had their earnings. So they had earnings per share of 20 cents, missing expectations of 65 cents, revenue of $1.2 billion, missing expectations of $1.24 billion. But that's not the full story, right? Because growth has been slowing down. Now, it's nothing new. We've seen why it has gone from close to $2,000 a share to now under $400 a share. Growth has been slowing down, and obviously there are increasing expenses, which hurts the business in the short term because they're investing a lot in their own fulfillment network, which had to be made because otherwise they'll never win against the likes of Amazon. Now, with that said, right now in the current environment, seeing what is happening around the world, inflation, supply chain issues, etc., you would like to pick maybe a more stable business and maybe a business that has revenue streams from advertising, from AWS, from other things as well. And this is why I want to touch on Amazon more in this video. But first, I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 free stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Now, Stock Advisor has beat the market by more than 4x. So all you have to do is go to fool.com/couch investor to get your free 10 stock picks now. All right, now touching on the fulfillment network, right? Shopify is going to tackle that as well with the announcement of, the merging of their own Shopify fulfillment network and now the acquisition of Deliver, which will cost them $2.1 billion. So they're combining to remove supply chain complexity for merchants of all sizes on and off Shopify, democratizing access to end-to-end logistics for independent brands for the first time. Now, as for Deliver's technology, it strengthens Shopify's fulfillment network's ability to manage merchant inventory from port to porch as it travels to the warehouse network, gets distributed across sales channels, and ultimately arrives at the customer's doorstep. Shopify's fulfillment network and Deliver will power Shop Promise, a new service that offers consumers 2-day and next-day delivery options with the merchants they love. Basically, the equivalent, let's say, of Amazon Prime. Like I said, Amazon announced Buy with Prime. So what does that entail exactly, and why will that hurt Shopify right now? There were also some leaks, let's say, of conversations inside of Shopify talking about, well, should we maybe open up our stores to allow buy with Prime, yes or no? Because, well, it will probably hurt them, because if you can add this little button right here, buy with Prime, you're probably going to increase sales. So internally in Shopify, they're asking themselves some questions right now. Let's see what they will be doing in the short and in the long term. Now, going back to the buy with Prime. So it will first be available by invitation only for merchants using the fulfillment by Amazon, and will roll out through 2022 as merchants are invited to participate, including those not selling on Amazon or using fulfillment by Amazon. And why wouldn't you use those services, right? It's extremely easy. Now, granted, on the other side of things, it's also expensive, so it might be eating your margins. And that's also one of the main reasons why Shopify has become extremely popular, because people wanted to have an alternative to Amazon. Now, I'm not going to say that everyone that's using Shopify is going to use suddenly buy with Prime, but probably some will, because, well, it will just get you more and more sales. But on the other side, you're still going to work with Amazon, and maybe for some people, that's just a big no. Right now, I want to show you Amazon's last earnings report. Obviously, since the new CEO came in, well, it hasn't been smooth sailing at all. The company lost more than $600 billion in market value or something like that. Expenses are rising. To be honest, he should have stayed with AWS, and we should have had another CEO. Maybe Jeff Bezos should have stayed and stopped thinking about sending rockets and competing with Elon Musk. Now, looking at the numbers here, online stores, which is obviously their biggest one, is down quarter over quarter, which is the usual thing. Q4 is their strongest quarter there, but it's down year over year as well. Those are the mature business here on the top. The not so mature businesses are the ones here at the bottom, and those are the ones that are growing extremely fast. Now, remember the numbers: online stores and third-party sellers for this quarter. So $51 billion and $25 billion. Now, let's talk a bit about the advertising side of the business. I've tweeted out about this. I've made a couple of videos in the past as well. Nobody is talking about the advertising side of Amazon. It has grown 23% year over year. I mean, look at last quarter, $9.7 billion. Yes, again, it's their strongest quarter. But even this quarter, advertising is bigger than YouTube and Netflix. I mean, why is nobody talking about this? It makes no sense. This is something that is flying under the radar, and it's going to be extremely profitable in the years to come for the whole Amazon business. And then we have obviously the biggest mammoth of all, Amazon Web Services, still growing quite nicely, 37%, now $18.44 billion. I mean, you can't really complain here. But look at the advertising services in this quarter, 7.87 billion. And then look at Q4 of 2020. All right, you might ask, why aren't you using Q1 2021? Well, I want to show you the extreme here, because Q4, like we said, is their most successful months. It's higher than that, right? 7.35 billion, now 7.87 billion. And now look at the numbers at the top. Online stores in that quarter, $66.45 billion. Third-party seller services, $27.32 billion. This quarter, much less, right? $51.1 billion and $25.33 billion. And yet, they managed to increase the advertising revenue by $0.5 billion. Now imagine in a year, maybe two, or hopefully less, inflation is under control, supply chain issues under control, expenses for Amazon are not rising anymore, normalized, and all the expenses that we've seen now bear fruit, and we've seen that quarter after quarter. Imagine what will happen with the stock itself. Imagine what will happen with the business itself. Buy with Prime, huge success. Advertising side has just become bigger and bigger. AWS is now at a run rate of over 100 something billion dollars. Imagine that, because that's going to be the reality. Maybe not this year, maybe next year as well. But focusing again on the advertising side of the business. it's something that will just increase and increase. And now even with the Buy with Prime, for example, right? They can expand advertising, not just for their platform. Now, Buy with Prime customers that weren't using Amazon before, boom, new clients, more revenue. Those grocery shops, yeah, when you go in, you take the card, you put stuff in, and it automatically charges you with your Prime account or something like that. Imagine what they can do with that. You just go through the grocery store, you have your list already because you did it on your laptop or on your phone, doesn't matter. Suddenly, oh, you want, I don't know, pasta, then you get some advertising for some pasta when you're just walking next to it. That's a lot of money. And now with all that said, I'm not selling Shopify, but currently I have no plans on adding any more Shopify shares. I do plan on adding Amazon shares when they finally split, because even though the price of the stock has gone down, I just think that right now buying new shares of Amazon is just such a huge block. Maybe I'll buy 1 or 2, but I'll wait for the split to buy much more, because I do think it's a tremendous business and the market just hates good businesses today. I'm fine with that. I'm young. By the time you're watching this video, I might be 28 because that's my birthday on Wednesday. So hopefully by then the markets are a bit more normal. And that will be it for this video. See, do share your thoughts down in the comments below. Amazon, Shopify, one or the other, or maybe both. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. Do look at those 2 videos if you're interested. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.